guys, welcome to this month's reading wrap up for October. As you can see, we had very much a physical book reading month, which is what I've been striving for because I've been slacking and I've just been reading a lot of Kindle books, but this year we grinded out a lot of physical books, so let's get right into yapping about all the books I read this month. First off, I read Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. This is about Selena. She was sent to a mining prison. She's basically a slave and she has to mine, and yeah, that's basically that. And she ends up getting this deal from Dorian, which is the crown prince, and Chaol, which is his head guard dude, I guess, where she has to compete to become the king's assassin so she can earn back her freedom. So that's what that's about. I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was so entertaining. I love Selena. Like, I think she's so badass. She's so cool. I feel so bad for her. Like, her story just like breaks my heart. I love her. And I like Dorian. He's nice. He's like nice enough. Like, I don't really have any, I don't know. I feel like I just don't have like an opinion on him. He's nice, but I love Chaol. I love him. I'm like worried that like in the future I'm not going to, but I don't fucking know because I thought I saw something where people don't really like him, but I'm not sure if that's like a different character I'm thinking of. But I really like Chaol. I think he's so great. He's so badass. He's so cool. Hottie. So we'll see what I think once I finish the rest of the series. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the characters. I thought the plot was super interesting, super entertaining, and I guessed something. I was like, I was kind of getting a little inkling. I kind of put two and two together pretty early on, and then I was like, predicted that shit. Like, I fucking called it. I fucking knew it. So I'm a genius. I actually think it was just kind of obvious, not gonna lie. So yes, but it was very good, very entertaining. I loved the competition aspects of it, and I really like the characters. Nehemia, I don't know how to pronounce it, but I love her too. She's so great. She's so cool. So overall, I rated this 4.5 stars. Okay, the next book that I read in October, read this month, was Daisy Hates the Great Undoing. I also have a reading vlog on that, so if you want to watch that, you can see it just to get more of my thoughts and feelings on it and reactions. So yeah, that book is continuing throughout the Magnolia Parks universe, and it's in Daisy's point of view, and the first book for Daisy's books is just Daisy Hates. So that's just kind of continuing her story with Christian. I'm not going to explain too much what it's about because it'll be spoilers for the first book with them. So basically, it's just continuing Daisy and Christian's story, and you kind of like learn some things, get some insights on some of the other books in the series. So yes, that's all I'm gonna say. I enjoyed this book. It was definitely slower in the beginning, so I wasn't as invested as I was in the original, like in Daisy Hates. So it took me a little bit longer to get into and kind of want to pick it up, I guess. It's definitely, I feel like towards like the middle end-ish area, it definitely picked up a bunch and a lot was happening and going down. But I feel like it took a while to get to that point, so it was very slow in the beginning, took me a bit to get into, but once it reached that point where there was a lot happening, I was so invested, so entertained, and ate that shit up. I was flabbergasted because I thought I was going to get more than I did, and then it ended, and I was like, are you kidding me? That's all I get? Like, don't play with me right now. I was so frustrated because I feel like we didn't get a lot of closure. There's not even another Daisy book out yet. Like, what? Like, how am I supposed to cope with that, and how am I supposed to like sit on this information and not know what happens at the end? Like, what? I need the rest of their story right now. So I was a little frustrated with that, but overall I rated it 4 stars. I was very entertained, ate that shit up. It was just, I feel like I'm I'm definitely a Daisy and Christian girl over a BJ and Magnolia girl. So I was definitely entertained towards the end, and I really enjoyed the ending. But definitely a slower start, so I didn't enjoy it as much as Daisy Hates. The next book I read was Twilight. We are getting into the fall vibes. We're getting into the fall spirit. It's fun. This is about, if you don't already know and haven't read the Twilight universe before, this is about Bella and Edward is a vampire, and basically they have a little romance going on. You're seeing some things go down. There's some crazy things that happen. It's dangerous for Bella to be in love with Edward, basically. Oh, hey, girl. So we're kind of getting their story and how they learn or how they fall in love and how shit goes down. I've read this like years and years and years ago. It was definitely, I think in middle school I read the whole series. I wanted to reread it just to because I don't really remember how the books were and everything. But I will say books are so much better than the movies. I feel like the characters definitely have more depth to them and more personality, and they're not really as cringy as in the movies. So I liked their characters more in the plot, more in the books, and I was way more entertained. Ow, she stepped on my foot. She's just gonna sit here and join us for a second. Overall, I rated it 4 stars. I was very entertained. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I ate this shit up, left no crumbs. Okay, guys, look at those annotations. The next book I read was Keeper of the Lost Cities Everblaze. This is continuing Sophie's story in the Lost Cities, and we're tagging along with her on her adventures. I'm not really going to discuss what it's fully about, just because spoilers, and I don't want to say anything that will spoil. But basically, we're just continuing Sophie's adventures and seeing what she's doing and the mysteries involved in that. So yeah, I obviously annotated it. I love looking at my annotations that I did. I think it's like so pretty, and it's like I obviously love Sophie, obviously love Keith. I love all the characters. Some of them not so much, but I think the found family obviously in this series is so good. A lot goes down in this book, and it's very entertaining, and the foreshadowing in it is like so good. I feel like the foreshadowing in all the books is so good, but this one is just like super good, super entertaining. And we find out like some crazy shit in this book, and one of the characters, like his story is just like so sad in this book, and I feel like we really understand his depth and his personality and his life more, and we really get to know him as a character specifically, and it kind of opens up his story more throughout the rest of the books, and this is like the beginning of his story, basically. Overall, I rated it 4 stars. Okay, the next book that I read was Soul Searching by Lila Sage. This is about, I can't remember their names for the life of me, so sorry about that, but the FMC, she hasn't been to her small town in a while. She doesn't really go there that often, but she discovers that first of all, she can see and talk to ghosts along with her twin sister, but now her power isn't working, so she can't talk to them, but she can see them, and she wants to go back to her small town to see why that is, and hopefully that helps her be able to hear them again. Also, she's going back to help her family with their business. It's like an antique shop. The MMC moved to the small town because he needed kind of a change, and he owns this renovating store where he makes furniture and stuff for the town, and he's very antisocial, I would say, and introverted, so he kind of wants to start over and meet new people throughout the town, and him and her end up having to live together and she's like helping him around the store. This book was actually really entertaining. I enjoyed it. It was a lot more fast-paced than I thought it would be, and I liked the characters a lot. They were lovely. I loved him, I loved her. I thought the whole aspect like with the ghosts was super interesting, super entertaining, and I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed. I had a fun time reading. It was super quick. Like, I got through it pretty quick. It wasn't too slow. Like, I was binge reading. It was very entertaining. I enjoyed. But it wasn't like the best book ever. It was just kind of like a good palate cleanser kind of book, quick, easy read that I could get through quickly, but it's not gonna stick in like the forefront of my mind. Like, I feel like it's easily forgettable. That's just basically my thoughts. Overall, I rated it 3.75 stars, but it was very entertaining. I probably wouldn't read again, and I don't know if I'm gonna pick up the rest of the series because it is gonna be continuing. So I don't know. We shall see. Okay, the next book I read was Keeper of the Lost Cities Never Seen. We're continuing the series, as you can see. More annotations. Love. I feel like we really get into the lore with this one, and one of my favorite characters is in it so much, and we get Keith's. We really. This is the beginning of Keith and Sophie. The third book definitely shows that like Keith is going to be a very pivotal role in the rest of the series, but this book really shows and proves how important he is, and you really get to understand his character in this book. And I think the different things that are happening and events that are taking place and the problems that they have to solve in this book are so good and so entertaining, and I feel like we learn so much in this book. And the friend group, they're so amazing. Like, every book I feel like you get more and more found family within it, and you understand them more, and you love them so much, and you're learning more about different organizations and different world problems. So you definitely learn a lot in this book, and it's very, very, very entertaining. Overall, 4 stars, ate this shit up, left no crumbs. I freaking love this series. I will rave about these books forever. If anyone asks, read it. These books are so good, and I'm having a blast annotating them. Like, I'm having so much fun. I love them. Okay, on to the next book I read, which was Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. This is about Holland. She has always been very invested and interested in different mysteries and magic, and because growing up with her parents, and specifically her father, he was very focused on that, and it was a large part of her life. So when she sees a mystery, she's in a little magical element, some clues, whatever, she's gonna go investigate, and she's gonna go after it no matter what. So we're getting her adventure within this. She meets different people. She doesn't know if she can trust them. You don't know if you could trust them. You don't know who you can even trust at all. So we just we're learning things. It's very confusing at the beginning, but like the foreshadowing and the buildup of it and what you're learning is so entertaining and so interesting, and like it keeps you at the edge of your seat, makes you want to read more, and you feel like you can't trust anyone, and you're kind of like in her shoes. Yeah, basically it's just very mystery lore heavy. It's super entertaining. There's different clues that you're following. It's so fun. I think it's like such a fun adventure, and it obviously Stephanie Garber eats every single time. I love her, and I really like the female main character. I loved Holland. She was great. That's just like the gist. The characters are very interesting, very entertaining, and keeps you at the edge of your freaking seat. Like, no freaking way. So if you haven't guessed already, based on how I'm raving about this book, overall I rated it 5 stars. Loved it. I trust Stephanie Garber with my life. She will never disappoint me. This book is so good, and I'm so excited for the rest of the series, but it's not even out yet, so what am I even gonna do now? I have to like wait for like a year or more. Like, what? Don't play with me right now. I need more. Give it to me, Rachel. Okay guys, the next book that I read was Wild Card by Elsie Silver. This is the fourth and final book in the Rose Hill series. It is about Bash and Gwen. She ended up dating his son. So the trope is ex-boyfriend's father. What? Crazy, insane, I know. It is definitely very entertaining. I was hooked. I feel like I really binge read it. I was very entertained. The reason I read it was because I really wanted to just finish off the series, because I've read all of them at this point. And I was like, you know what, we just got to finish it off, because it came out last month and I just didn't get to it. So this month I was like, we're getting to this freaking book. I need to finish it. Like, there's no way, Jose. So definitely grinded that out, binged it. I was super invested, super entertained. I really liked the characters, and the issue at hand was super entertaining, and I was like, I did not know how they were gonna fix this issue and how they were gonna overcome this. Like, I was so invested. I had to keep reading to figure it out, but I think with the whole found family and the friend group at the end, it was just so good. And throughout the whole book, I feel like we get a lot of the whole friend group from the rest of the series, and I love it. I think it's so cute, so sweet, so wonderful. And especially like knowing, because I know their stories and like I understand them, it was just like that much better. So I really enjoyed it. I'm not an age gap girly, so I was a little bit nervous about this book, and I was like, I don't know if I'll like it, but I actually did really enjoy it. I had a fun time reading, and yeah, definitely would recommend. It's not like a terrible age gap. Obviously there is one. I think it's like 11 years, something like that, 12 years. So yeah, but I enjoyed it. I was entertained. I rated it overall 4.25 stars. Really enjoyed, really entertained, but my favorite is still Wild Side by Elsie Silver out of the Rose Hill series. That is the third book. I really enjoyed that book, and I thought it was so entertaining, so good. The next book that I read in October was New Moon, so we're continuing the Twilight series. This is just continuing Bella and Edward's story, and she has to learn to like live past this one thing, and she's really struggling throughout this whole book, as you can see. And she kind of gets closer to Jacob in this book, and she really gets to know him, and we get his lore and what's going on with him. He kind of helps her get out of her funk, and because she's struggling so much. So it's definitely very entertaining. There are some things that happen at the end which really keep you on your toes. It's crazy. I obviously knew what happened because I watched the movies and read the books, so, but it was fun to read. It's, as I've said before, these books are better than the movies for sure. I felt like I understood Bella more in this book than I did in the movies, and I freaking love Jacob. I'm not team Jacob, obviously. I'm team Edward for Bella, but Jacob for me, like, I love that man. Like, he's so lovely, he's so amazing, he's so perfect. I love him, he's so great. So, if Bella doesn't want him, I'll take him gladly. So, but overall, I rated this 4 stars, super entertaining, super good. I really enjoyed it. I'm excited to get into the rest of the series in the fall time and finish it up and get really into it. Yep, I think I'm gonna start Eclipse next week, so we're gonna be continuing this shit. Okay, the last book, which I finished yesterday, that I read in October, was Keeper of the Lost City's Lodestar. Obviously had to end with a Keeper book. This is the most annotations I've done out of every book I've annotated. I think it got a little bit excessive. ASMR. Whoops, but it looks pretty. Like, look at that shit. Ooh, love it. This book is very average. I feel like it's super slow paced and we're learning a lot, yes, but also so it's not too much, and there are certain things happening with a character and they're in a stressful situation. It's not really going to plan. So we're getting this kind of shit, but it's really entertaining. I feel like I read this slower because I was just like not. I've already read these books, so I wasn't like as interested to pick it up especially because this one isn't really like one of my faves. I think this is definitely like building into the plot and the lore, yes, but like we're not really getting that much within the actual mystery that's happening and what they need to figure out. We're just getting like a tiny piece of the puzzle out of like the whole puzzle. So definitely slower, but it's also like chunkier than the other books. So yeah, but it's very entertaining. I had a fun time reading. Overall, rated it 3.75 stars. Really, I love this series. I think it's so good. Look at my freaking annotations. Look at those. I freaking love. It looks beautiful, gorgeous, amazing, perfect. I freaking love this series. Okay, these are all 10 books. Oh, it's heavy. All 10 books that I read in October. I hope you enjoyed me reviewing them, talking about them, yapping. And I'm excited to see what we read in November. I definitely want to read a lot of physical copies again. Like, I had a fun time reading all these physical copies. It was definitely not a Kindle month, and I'm okay with that. I feel like I got through a little bit of my physical TBR because a lot of these were rereads. Sorry. So, overall, had a joyous little time. I freaking love reading physical copies. So I feel like I'm in my physical book era. I'm having a fun time. I hope you enjoy. Comment your thoughts and feelings down below. See you in the next one, whenever that is. So yeah,